But dance was not a part of my life at that time. Yeah, so it was different because I've been dancing my whole life, from the age of 3. So I didn't really know what to do with myself. I was just kind of stuck, like, what's next? Yeah, so like I said, I was traveling back home, and I would get on the highway and turn my music up, and I would pass a billboard. And every time I passed it, I would look, and I'd be like, that says be your bold self. And I was like, sorry. I knew it was God.
This is Kamryn Spell. Kamryn is a student, ballet dancer, and part of the first UST Dance team. This episode of Bold, we dive into Kamryn's past and talk about her discovery of dance and her life as a professional dancer. We also talked about her importance of her faith and how trusting in God, and I mean really, really trusting in God wholeheartedly, that can lead us to some unexpected journeys, but in the end, give us some awesome opportunities. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Max Studios UST to stay in the loop and get a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at everything that we're working on. Now, let's jump into this episode of Bold with Kamryn.
Hi, I'm Isabel Garcia. I'm studying education at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, and I'm the host of Bold. Bold is a podcast that aims to inspire students to be your bold self through conversation with students and alumni. Hey guys, welcome back to Bold. My name's Isabel, and I'm here with my friend Kamryn Spell. Hey Kamryn!
Hey Isabel, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm really good.
Oh, good, I'm so glad. All right, can you give us your elevator pitch? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so my name is Kamryn Spell. I'm a freshman here at UST. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a dance major.
Hey, and what else are you involved in here at UST?
I'm involved with campus ministry, and next year I'll be a part of the first ever dance team on campus.
That is so exciting. Dang, that's so awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
So dance is obviously a big part of your life right now. When did you start dancing?
So I started dancing when I was 3 years old. My mom put me in dance because I was the first girl. I had 2 older brothers. And I actually have a funny story. So on my first day of baby ballet, I was 3, and I waddled in the studio. Apparently, I was really, really nervous, and I was scared to leave my mom, and I peed all over myself.
No, you didn't.
I did. But I stuck with it. I kept going.
They didn't kick you out?
No, they didn't. But I think it was a little frowned upon.
No, duh.
I know. Yeah.
But you stuck with it.
Yeah. So
good. I'm glad.
Me too.
How did that journey continue?
Yeah, so I actually had a teacher one summer tell me, you should go audition for the Houston Ballet. So I went and I auditioned. I got in, and from there I trained with Houston Ballet for about 6 years.
How old were you when you first started training?
I was 12.
12? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. So were you from Houston originally?
I'm from Beaumont, Texas, so it's an hour and a half away. So it was a big decision for my family. My mom moved to Houston with me, so I left the rest of my family behind and lived with my mom while she drove me to ballet every day.
No way. So your mom was a full-time dance mom?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
She was. Yeah, she did everything for me.
That's crazy. Dang. Mm-hmm. Shout out to your mom.
I know, right?
Dang.
Hi, Mom.
Wait. Okay. So that's when you first started to take dancing seriously.
Yeah, that's when I started to really focus in on ballet specifically because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a professional ballerina. So I was training all day from 9 to 5 p.m. and then I would go home, eat dinner, shower, and do school online and then do it Monday through Saturday.
No way. So you would only get Sundays off?
Yeah. It was pretty intense.
Were you happy in this moment? When you were in this moment, you're yes, this is the best time ever.
I was so happy that it was a great experience. It really pushed me in a lot of ways. Learning how to manage time and friends, but also learn how to take care of my body and just be in a professional setting like that. It was something special.
Especially it's so young. That's
yeah. Dang. I was young.
Yeah. Dang. And then what did your mom think during all of this? What was her outlook on
I think my mom was just willing to do anything to support me, really. Yeah, she kind of left all her life back home and said, I'm going to take Kamryn and we're going to do this. Nobody really knew like what the dream or how the dream was going to end and what it would look like. But I think my family we take risks and we had to. So I'm really grateful for them.
I love that. That's awesome. And then, so you're dancing from 11 to 18 years old at the Houston Ballet.
Yes.
And then what happened next?
So that summer, I started to kind of look around and see where I wanted to get a job. And I ended up dancing at the Texas Ballet Theater and got my first little job there. So, yeah. That was great too. I wasn't expecting to move to Fort Worth, but I really loved it. It was a great experience.
Wait. Okay, so 18 years old, right? That's when most people like would go to college. During that time, did that ever occur to you like, oh, like I'm 18, like let me go to college?
I think it was in the back of my mind, but more as a backup plan. I think my main focus was get a job and start dancing. So
okay, because that's what people like in the dance world do, right? They like go to like train for forever, and then when they turn 18, they get a job.
Yeah, there's two roads you can take, and I was definitely leaning more towards the right out of training you go and get a job, but you can also come to college. It just wasn't really on my radar at the time.
Okay, cool. And then so you love dancing in Fort Worth, like that was awesome.
Yes, it was so fun because I was away from my family for the first time too, so it was like college but for dancers. So
yeah, interesting.
I was with a bunch of girls and we were just dancing all day, and it was really great because I was getting paid to do what I loved.
And so like were you super happy in that moment and you're like, I made it, like this is like everything you've been training for like your whole life?
That's exactly what I was thinking. It was like, you put in the hours every day, you go in the studio and you work and you work. I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I definitely thought I had made it.
Aw, that's awesome. Well, obviously that's not the case because you're here with us today.
Right. Plot twist.
So what happened?
Yeah. So, that all went down in February. I was working and getting my job or whatever. January of last year, around the time, everyone's making their New Year's resolutions and kind of getting your year started. I was praying, and I was in prayer one morning, and I was like, I had seen my friend do this. She basically was praying and asked God if he could give her a word to focus on for the year. And I didn't really know like what it was going to look like or how it was even going to happen. So I just kind of decided to, let's pray and see if I get a word. I felt like it would help guide me through whatever I was going to go through that year. So I prayed, and slowly throughout, the weeks went by, I would see this word that I felt like was from God, and I would see it, in commercials, on billboards, in songs. So the word was bold. The word was bold. Yeah, so.
No way.
But at the time, I was like, okay, I'm not really sure why, but, thank you, God, for giving me a word. So, I would just pray over it. It's in a couple of verses in the Bible. So, yeah, the word was bold. So, fast forward to February, I'm dancing in Fort Worth. And like I said, I made it, and I'm so super happy to be dancing. I go into a ballet class like I do every day, for how long I've been doing it. And I went to do a dance step that I've been doing since I was 12. But this time, something different happened. I twisted my knee one way, and my body went the other way, and I hyperextended it, and it popped. And so in that moment, I'm like, oh no, like, what did I just do? But I tried to stay calm because I don't like to panic, under pressure. So I call my mom and I'm like, hey, I think I might have done something bad, but I was trying to stay positive. A couple weeks later, I get an MRI. I tore my ACL. That is like the worst news you could hear. As a dancer or as an athlete, like that recovery time is long and it's a grueling process. So I was devastated.
I mean, yeah, your whole, like, everything you'd been working on, you had, like, finally made it.
Yes.
And then this happens.
I felt like it just all, like, slipped through my hands. Like, it was tough.
I mean, yeah, I imagine. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And like obviously like you have to like recover and like PT, like what did that look like?
Yeah, so I got surgery, I want to say like 2 weeks later. I was terrified for that. I had never had like a huge surgery before, so I was super nervous. And basically after that I just had to learn how to just do everything. Like I had to learn how to walk again. I didn't know how to walk. It was a humbling experience to say the least. I started to do physical therapy, I want to say like 3 times a week. And that was kind of geared towards dance. Okay. So I was trying to get back into my sport and relearn ballet, which was just really difficult, mentally and physically, because I had all these thoughts like, should I give up? Like, should I keep going, you know? So I knew it was going to be worth it in the end.
So you're doing PT and like doing PT like designed to do dance again. So this like while you're doing this, like your goal is like, oh, so I can dance and I can go back to Fort Worth and keep dancing? Was that like what was going through your head, or what would like help you, inspire you to like keep going?
Yeah, I think it was more just getting back out there, whatever that looked like for me, but definitely I still wanted to dance professionally as my job. So that was the goal, to get back out into the dance world and keep auditioning and looking for jobs. I didn't really know where it was going to be, but college never crossed my mind.
Interesting. Yeah. And so you're like struggling through PT and physical therapy and all that. And then what happened?
Yeah. So I was going home a lot to visit my family, to like lean on them, you know, in this really difficult time. And yeah, so I was driving back and forth from home to Houston like 3 times a week. I was on the road a lot.
Yeah.
And go
you're
ahead.
only doing like at this time, that's all you're doing, right? Is like physical therapy. You have nothing else going on in your life.
I had a little job. I was working as a Pilates sales associate. Yeah, just to, you know, help my physical therapy. So that I was also taking those classes to help like regain strength in my leg.
Okay, that's cool.
So, but dance was not a part of my life at that time. Yeah, so it was different because I had been dancing my whole life, you know, from the age of 3. So I didn't really know what to do with myself. I was just kind of stuck, like, what's next? Yeah. So like I said, I was traveling back home, and I would get on the highway and turn my music up, and I would pass a billboard. And every time I passed it, I would look, and I'd be like, that says be your bold self. And I was like, sorry. I knew it was God.
Yeah, because that was like your word for the year that you had prayed upon.
Yes. And like I said, at the time, I didn't know why. I didn't know why the word was bold. I had, you know, looked it up in the dictionary and seen like courageous and just risk-taking. So I knew that I needed to have those qualities, but I didn't know why. So I'm driving back and forth to Houston and home and Houston and home. And it starts to kind of, you know, I'm just thinking, I'm like, God is telling me to be my bold self.
Yeah.
Well, it took me a couple more times to pass it, to actually look at the bottom of the billboard. And it was University of St. Thomas that was advertising it.
No way.
But I still was clueless. So I still don't even know why, but I just know that this billboard is like God just basically telling me that he's with me through whatever I'm going through, and that I can be bold and be courageous no matter what's happening in my life. So I'm sitting in prayer one morning, and I'm talking to God, and I just can't get the billboard out of my mind. And I'm thinking about just UST, and I just start like bawling, and I can't really explain it, but all I know is that I heard God, and God was saying, apply to UST. And so I want to say it was that easy, but I was like, God, I can't do that. Like, I can't give up my dream and my goal to go back out into the professional world. And I just kept hearing him say, like, just try, just be bold. So I did. I emailed the dance professor here. Within 30 minutes, Isabel, she emailed me back and said, come tour the campus. We want to have you here. And so, in that moment, I was just like, what is happening? Like, there were so many emotions, but at the same time, I was so calm because I knew that this was from God.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I came and I toured the campus, and the rest is history.
Wait. Let's go back a little bit.
Sorry.
Let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Wait. So how does like seeing a billboard? Because that's the first time you've even heard of St. Thomas, right? Like
Yes.
I'm just so like, how do you see a billboard and you're like, yep, this is what I'm supposed to do next? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't think people think that way.
It's crazy to me too, to be honest. I really don't have, like, I can't answer it because I know it was just from God. And I felt peace knowing that coming here, there would be something. And I kind of just put two and two together, like, be your bold self. And that was a very bold risk for me to take.
Yeah.
So I just, I just tried. I emailed and I applied and I got in. So I think it was more of just me taking a leap of faith and trusting.
And like, when you took that leap of faith, were you like, I'm like giving up on my dreams by like dancing? Because here, I mean, yes, you were majoring in dance, but it's obviously not the same as like dancing professionally.
Yes. At first, I definitely was kind of sad just because that's what I had known, my past dance experience. So it was hard letting that go. And I definitely had to like pray, and God helped me get through that. But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do it different if I could.
Yeah.
You
love it here?
I love it here. I love UST. Yeah, I do.
Me too.
Good.
How has your experience been here? Like, yeah, talk more about that.
Goodness. I love the people here. I have such amazing friends, and the professors are great. I love my professors. Like, I love the small classes. I feel seen, and it's not like easy to get lost in the crowd. You feel like you have a place. I love USC.
Me too. So like, obviously you didn't go to like a traditional high school, right? You were doing online school. How was like that transition from like online to like now being at like university?
It was different, but I feel like I didn't struggle too much because I was already doing school on a computer. So like coming here and like getting on Zoom, like I already knew how to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But definitely the whole atmosphere is way different than a dance atmosphere. So I did have to like adjust there a little bit, but for the most part, it was kind of an easy transition.
Oh, good. So like, how can you put all your trust in God? Like, how can you be so, like literally change your whole life based on like the signs that He has given you? Like, yeah.
Right. I think you really have to lean on Him, and it's a daily commitment to trust Him. You have to wake up every day and be like, you know what? This is your day, God. I'm living in it. Thy will be done. Whatever you want for me today, help me walk in that and see you in everything. So I think it's a daily choice to follow Him, and it's not something you can just do once and then kind of fall off. So it's a constant reminder to keep trusting Him, keep putting your faith in Him, because He does know what's best for you.
I like that. So so you're on God's plan right now and you're like majoring in dance. You're going to be on the dance team. Yeah. What's next? Do you know like what's next, or like, what are you thinking?
I have a couple ideas, but nothing's really set in stone. I know what I want to do, and that's dance, obviously, but I don't really know what that looks like. I'm really interested in teaching kids. I think it's really important to pass on knowledge to the younger generation. So if that's either, teaching dance to younger girls or boys, or I don't know, something to do with dance. I don't really have a set plan because I did in the past, and I learned that plans are made in human hearts, but it doesn't always go the way you want. So I think it's good to have something set up for the future, but also to be able to be flexible and just go with what God is asking you to do.
Would you ever consider like going back to dancing professionally?
I have considered it, especially now since I feel like I'm really fully recovered and healed from my injury. I don't know if I would go back into ballet or try out different styles, because I have done ballet for most of my life, but I also love jazz and hip hop and everything else. So I definitely think I would get back out into the professional world, though.
Nice. Okay, last question for you.
Okay.
So it took you some convincing to be on Bold. Yeah. Like so much convincing.
Yeah.
Why? Like you have such a good story and you're so charismatic.
Thank you. Yeah, for me, I think just opening up. I've told a lot of people this, but close people, close friends and family. But I know that I need to spread and share what God is doing in my life to hopefully help others and show them that He does care for you and He loves you. And even though things look like they're a complete disaster in your life, He could be doing something totally amazing behind the scenes, and you just have to go with what God wants. So I think for me, after I had a couple months to think about it, I decided to, let's go. Let's tell the story. So
Kamryn, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Isabel.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay bold, my friends. Bold is a podcast produced by Max Studios at University of St. Thomas in Houston. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Max Studios UST.